yeah, I was still looking for my purpose in life.
at that time.
And without that purpose in life, actually, you cannot be happy.
Interesting. There's two interesting things in this phase of life that you're sharing with us. First is the in search of the purpose of life, but I think many of the audience, especially the youth, are intrigued to know, Doctor, because many are born as Muslim and they don't have the experience in drinking alcohol. And how's the experience when you drink the cue? Why does British or non-Muslim are attracted to these kinds of things even though it brings harm? So what's the psychological behind all of this?
Okay, so basically, there's kind of a sociological aspect and there's a personal aspect. I think the sociological aspect, because most people in the society don't have a purpose in life, people just drink alcohol and do whatever because they want to forget their problems, and it's just a way of escaping reality and
reality
because they don't have religion to
hold on to,
give them a purpose in life. So yeah, it's just like, okay, takut minum. But personally, the culture is also, when you drink, it proves that you're a man, right? So it's like the more alcohol you drink, the more of a man you are. But as I was talking to you earlier, the more you drink alcohol, the more stupid you become as a person.
But they take pride in that.
Yeah, of course, it's ego. Basically. But one of the effects of alcohol is you forget everything that you did. And I remember when I was at university, I would have these like big parties, and the next day I would remember nothing. And my friends said, "Oh, did you remember you did this? You did?" I said, "No, I didn't do that." But the thing is, they actually took photos.
Oh, really?
They showed me the photos. I like, wow.
Oh my god.
And then there are other things which, you know.
Do you still keep those photos with you?
No,
Okay.
of course not.
Okay.
But the point is that at the end of the day, when you drink a lot of alcohol, you only have regrets.
Okay.
And
you felt that way every time you pass the process.
But the interesting thing is, once I converted to Islam, stopping drinking alcohol was very easy because I was only drinking alcohol in order to impress other people, basically. If you want to summarize it that way, it's all like, oh, you want to impress your friends, or you want to, you're socializing, whatever. But
do you think that is at the backs of other people's mind who are drinking alcohol as well? It's just to impress people, in a way? No.
Probably, or either that, or they're trying to forget their problems, if you take a lot of alcohol, you become a zombie. That's all.
Yeah, I'm trying to putting your story into perspective as a Muslim youth here in Malaysia, Doctor. Because maybe yes, we are born and raised as a Muslim, and alcohol here in Malaysia is like a totally haram thing,
Okay.
But there are things that give the same effects as alcohol, not physically, but it makes us escape reality.
Okay.
We have media, social, we have pornography things, and something like that. They make us escape reality. So my point is, how do you cope with that? You are in search of the purpose of life at this stage of life as a youth, and at the same time you are exposed to so many things and with the alcohol and everything.
So I'll tell you something which I actually haven't told you before already, because we had a long discussion before
and
doing
it's
this.
not new to me.
I realized something about myself.
Okay.
I cannot accept the idea of lying to myself. Lying to other people, at that time, I had no problem because that's just standard operating procedure. But lying to yourself is something that was not acceptable. So
because of the guilt, maybe is that?
No, because why would you lie to yourself?
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's harming yourself. And so there was this one time during my search phase
Yeah.
where I had a dream. And in this dream, I imagined myself on Yawm Qiyamah. I know it's very scary, right? But I remember that I imagined myself being questioned, why did you not accept Islam? And I remember answering, because I didn't know about Islam. And I remember being told, that's not true. You knew about Islam, but you didn't want to accept it. And then I woke up. I know no, it's not scary, but it's like
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
you realize I have a choice to lie to myself, or I can face
Embrace.
reality.
Yeah, yeah.
So I prefer to face reality. So this is why one of the motivation for me is just to do more in-depth research, because I had to figure this out. Like taking the easy option, don't think about it, you're just like putting kupala. No, I do have to think about it, because this is literally the most important question in your life.
Yeah.
Now, if I had discovered Christianity or Buddhism or Islam, that's a different issue. But I wanted to find the answer. And I wanted to find the answer because it was for me. It wasn't to please my parents or anybody else. It was just for me.
Wow.
And the one thing about being a Westerner, which I think is very different for Malaysians, is family was not a consideration. Like this, I didn't care about what was my family's reaction, because it was my problem. It was not their problem. So, I didn't worry about how my family was going to react. I just wanted to find out, is this true or is this not true? What is my purpose in life? I just wanted to figure that out.
Subhanallah. Having that quality, doctor, the curiosity, the will to find the purpose of life is a really tough quality, I would say. But where do we start? Where do you start for the youth to not get distracted with things that escapes reality, but stay on reality and find the purpose of life in an early stage of youth?
So I think when I talk to a lot of people, so I've spent a lot of time talking to my students.
Yeah.
I think all of them know that, or the majority of them know that there's something wrong with their lifestyle. But the mindset is, I want to do what other people are doing.
There's a psychological concept.
Social pressure or whatever.
Yeah, all right.
For me, like, why would you be following what other people are doing? Like, if other people are going to, throw themselves out of the window, you're not going to say, oh yeah, everybody's doing that, I'm going to throw mine. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So maybe as a human being, you should be thinking for yourself.
Thinking for yourself.
And just don't follow what other people are doing, but start asking questions like, very simple, what is my purpose in life?
Yeah. I think it's the concept of being honest to yourself and getting life.
Correct.
Yeah, in
Correct.
search of what you think is better for yourself and not getting into the social pressure.
Correct.
Interesting.